Boxing Lowdown, and I'm back here with another Mythical Monday video. Now, as always, guys, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like, and I'll happily get back to you. Now, let's talk about this week's matchup. First of all, let me just say shout out to all of you guys for leaving comments, recommendations, giving me your predictions on the matchups that I've put so far and all of that stuff, man. I really enjoy it. I love reading through them and hearing what you guys have to say as well, man. Some very good, educated responses in the comments, man. That's what I'm doing these videos for. So big up to all of you lot, first of all. Let's get on to this week's Mythical Monday matchup, man. A very interesting one. One that probably hasn't been spoken about too many times. I know I've said that about a couple that I've done recently, but this is another one. And I was literally just in the gym this morning and I was thinking about what I was going to do for today, because I don't plan these ahead. I literally just do them off the cuff. And this is a matchup that I thought, yeah, this is a good one. Carl Froch and David Benavidez. Who wins this and why in their primes? Now, you could make an argument, first of all, to say that David Benavidez is not even in his prime yet. He's a young fighter. He's about 23, 24 years old. And, you know, he's looking very good. He's undefeated. He punches with a lot of power, brings a lot of pressure, and he's relentless with it, man. This guy is huge for the weight. Do you know what I mean? He could easily move up to light heavyweight. But as of right now, he's a super middleweight. Very good fighter, man. A former world champion. The only reason why he lost his belt was on the scales, and also, you know, his indiscipline has allowed him to lose that title. But if he was, you know, we're looking at signs that he's heading in the right direction, and I hope so, because this guy is very talented and he's got the potential to go all the way, man. And this guy, he's somebody that people want to see Canelo fight. After Canelo Alvarez, you know, he is the undisputed super middleweight champion. They look at David Benavidez as probably his nearest challenger. I know Caleb Plant gave Canelo a good fight last year, but David Benavidez is the one that people would say, yeah, we want to see him fight Canelo if Canelo is going to stay at super middleweight. And, you know, the reasons why, the guy, like I said, punches very well, got great technique. He's, you know, relentless, got a good chin, he's solid, and, you know, he brings the heat. Do you know what I mean? He's a very good fighter, David Benavidez. And like I said, the best is probably yet to come from him. So very exciting times for him, man. Let's hope that he just stays disciplined and on the right track. And you never know how far this guy can go, man, but he's got the potential to go all the way. Do you know what I mean? Definitely expect him to pick up a world title again. And, you know, I think that he will go far. So David Benavidez, very good fighter, man. Very big for the weight, punches hard, you know, very strong. And, you know, not many people are able to push him back, which makes this fight here very interesting, because Carl Froch was one of those guys, man, where he rarely took a backward step. This guy was involved in wars. He had a granite chin. He was just like punched very hard. And, you know, Carl Froch, he was just a brilliant fighter, first of all. He just brought the heat as well. He was somebody that, you know, he will take some to give some. And, you know, he was that confident in his chin that he would be able to apply the pressure and wear you down. And we've seen that so many times with him in his fights. You've seen fights where he was down on the cards and looked like he might lose, and then he comes back and wins. Look at the Jermaine Taylor fight. Absolutely classic fight that was, man. Jermaine Taylor was doing very well in that, you know, building up a lead. He was heading into the 12th, probably up front on the cards. Carl Froch rallied to stop him, and we've seen that before, man. Yeah, Carl Froch, he's relentless. It's going to be hard. You may be able to put him down, but to nail him down is something else, man. We didn't see it, and like, he did lose, but it was only on the points. He only lost the decision twice. He's never been knocked out. It's hard to keep this guy down. So this sort of fight here would have just been, again, like two trains colliding, man. None of these two would have liked to have took a backward step. And it really would have been down to, you know, who would have been able to impose their will on each other more. Because, you know, they both fight, I wouldn't say similar ways, but, you know, they both like to come forward. They both punch very hard. They're both relentless. And also, I'll just have to say, the press conference for this would have been entertaining as well. Do you know what I mean? Both of these guys are characters. David Benavidez, you know, he's not afraid to say a word or two, and nor was Carl Froch back in the day. So, yeah, you would have sensed that they would have clashed, these two. David Benavidez, you know, he's a Mexican-American, and Carl Froch, he's a Brit, you know, like we like to talk as well. I just think that, yeah, the fan bases would have been amazing wherever the fight would have been, whether it would have been here in the UK or over there in America. It would have been a great clash, man. It would have been. And who would have been my prediction for this fight? It's probably, I would say, Carl Froch for me right now, because there's more to come from David Benavidez. I think that he's yet to approach his prime yet. I think he's getting there, but I think there's even more to come from this guy. And, you know, some people may say it's too early to do your fantasy matchup with these two. But listen, they're thinking about putting David Benavidez in there with Canelo. So that tells you everything you need to know, man. I would probably edge it to Carl Froch though right now, simply based on the fact that, you know, I've seen his whole career. I've seen what he's done, you know, through his prime up until the end of his prime. And, you know, he finished his career emphatically, Carl Froch. Do you know what I mean? Knocking out George Groves in front of 80,000 people at Wembley. He could have continued. A lot of people said that maybe he could carry on, but he got out of the game at the right time. He's one of the rare people that did. And yeah, I would have slightly picked Carl Froch to win this on points against David Benavidez. It would have been close. But, you know, maybe in a year or two, we may have to revisit this matchup. And maybe, you know what I mean, I could be saying David Benavidez because that's how talented the boy is. Carl Froch, I would say, is sometimes in these fantasy matchups, he can be overrated. Because the guy, he did have a leaky defense, very leaky. He was easy to hit. Somebody like Benavidez would have a field day, you know, landing on Froch. But I just think that Froch would have been able to land on him as well. And I think that his experience would win him this fight. That is what I'm going for. Experience would win the day. But, you know, maybe in a year or two, we might have to revisit this fight. And my prediction could change. But right now, I'm going to say Carl Froch on points. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below, guys. Who wins this fight and why? And of course, drop any recommendations for any Mythical Monday videos. And yeah, man, keep subscribing, hit the like button, share the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.